Alright, so let's talk about it, man. Paulo Costa, man, he's in a weird spot in his career right now. Like, not quite rock bottom, but definitely sliding. He's not in title contentions, but he's barely clinging into that ranking spot. And to be real with you, he's kind of fading out of the picture. I mean, the guy hasn't won a fight since 2022, and that win was over a way past his prime, Luke Rockhold. Since then, he's gone 1-4 in his last 5 fights, and that's rough, dude. Now he's sitting at number 12 in the rankings, staring down at a dangerous young hungry fighter in Roman Kopylov, who, by the way, is not an easy fight for anyone in the top 10. Besides Fluffy, of course. And look, man, I'm just gonna say it straight. This is Costa's last chance to prove that he's still a real player in this division. If he takes another L here, I think he's out of the rankings completely. Like, this might be the moment we officially hit the decline button on Paulo Costa. Now, don't get me wrong. Costa can still win. He's got somewhat power. I say somewhat like he's explosive, and when he's locked in, he can be a problem. But the question is, does that version of Paulo Costa even exist anymore? And listen, man, it's kind of scary for Costa because Roman Kopylov is good. The dude is cold, like cold as a Russian winter cold. You don't just walk into the cage with the action man Chris Curtis and outstrike him like that unless you got real sauce. And Kopylov, he's got the whole kitchen. The way he was ripping those body kicks, I mean, come on. He was sniping the liver like he had beef with internal organs. And it wasn't just volume, it was precision. He wasn't just throwing just to score points. Every shot had a purpose. He was downloading Curtis's patterns in real time, slipping shots, staying calm, and then just detonating that left kick whenever Curtis got too comfortable. It was surgical, and if you ever watched a Curtis fight before, you know how rare that is. Most guys will under that pressure. Kopylov looked like he was on vacation. The man's striking IQ is obviously high, like really high. His shot selection, the way he baits reaction, how he's composed, how he stays under fire, and he's doing this while he's still climbing, still improving, and that's the scariest part. He's not a finished product yet, and he's already making dudes look silly. And honestly, I think Kopylov could give Costa a lot of problems stylistically, like real problems, because think about it. Costa thrives when he can bully you, when he can push forward, make it ugly, swing big, and drag you into a brawl. But Kopylov, that dude does not brawl. He descends. He's not gonna stand there and trade recklessly just to give Costa a chance. Nah, he's gonna pick him apart, chop the legs, rip the body, touch, boom, with that left kick. And then he's not just going to stop there for the return fire. Kopylov moves just enough to stay out of danger, but not so much that he loses position. That's high level striking. And if Costa can start slowing down, which let's be honest, has happened in almost all his recent fights, Roman's going to smell blood, because that's the thing with Kopylov. Once he knows you're hurt, he's turning into a silent killer. No trash talk, no flexing, just quiet violence. So yeah, this might look like Costa versus a low ranked guy on paper, but in reality, he's walking into a sniper's nest. And if he's not dialed in 100%, he's gonna get picked apart. Another big problem for Costa is Kopylov's patience. That's one of the most underrated parts of his game. He doesn't rush. He's not gonna fall for feints or swing wild trying to get the crowd going. And that's actually terrible for Costa because Paulo kind of needs chaos. He feeds off the back and forth. But if Roman just stays calm and chips away at him and refuses to give him that war that he wants, that's mentally draining. Costa's gonna start second guessing himself, and once that happens, his output's gonna drop hard. Then there's the cardio factor. Kopylov doesn't waste energy. He's super efficient with his movement and his strikes, so he can keep a steady pace for all 3 rounds. Costa, on the other hand, that gas tank gets real sketchy when the fight doesn't go his way early. If he doesn't start strong, or if Kopylov survives the initial burst, that second round could be the beginning of the end. Oh, and let's not forget Kopylov's southpaw stance. That might seem like a little small thing, but Costa's defense against southpaw isn't exactly airtight. The body kick, that comes from the blind side, and Roman doesn't need much space to launch it. 1 or 2 clean kicks to the liver, and suddenly Costa's not exploding forward anymore. He's backing up, holding the ribs, wondering what just happened. And finally, this is more of a vibe thing, but Kopylov just looks like he doesn't care about the hype. He's not going to be intimidated by Costa's muscles, or the memes, or the crowd chanting Costa. He's there to fight, not perform. And that kind of cold, methodical energy, that's nightmare fuel for a guy like Costa who's used to getting in people's heads. And if Costa wants to win this, he's going to have to make it ugly, like really gritty. Pressure early, get in Kopylov's face, and don't let him settle into that clean, calculated rhythm. Kopylov needs space to work. He needs time to set up those sniper shots, especially that left kick. So Costa's job is to take away all that, cut off the cage, make him uncomfortable. He's got to let his hands go, but with purpose, not wild loopy shots like he did against Izzy or Vettori. Costa needs to throw in more combinations to the body and mix in low kicks to slow Roman down. If he's just headhunting, he's going to get outclassed and picked apart. But if he goes into the body, head, body, and forces Kopylov to react, that's where he can do damage. Also, this is not the fight to gas out trying to flex. Save that showboating for Instagram. He needs to manage his output, pick his moments, and keep the pace high without blowing the tank in round one. Because if Roman weathers that first storm, the rest of the fight is going to tilt hard in his favor. Costa should also consider closing the distance into the clinch. He's big, physically strong, and if he can get Roman against the fence, wear on him, and land some dirty boxing or knees to the body, that's gonna score some points and drain Roman's gas. Anything that disturbs the clean technical fight Roman wants, that's good for Costa. The bottom line is this: Paulo's gotta be a savage, but be a smart one. Pressure, pace, body work, and make Kopylov uncomfortable. Because if he lets Roman fight his fight, he's toast. Simple as that. And here's the thing, Costa might still have some hidden advantages that can still swing this fight in his favor if he plays his cards right. I mean, for one, he's still the bigger, more physical, imposing guy. Like, say what you want about where he's at in his career, but the dude is built like a tank. If he uses his size properly, pressure forward, walks Roman down, and make this feel like a middleweight versus a welterweight, that kind of physicality can make Kopylov uncomfortable fast. Not every exchange has to be clean. Even just shrugging off kicks and closing the distance with brute force can mentally wear on a precision striker like Roman. Also, Costa's chin is solid still. Even in fights where he's taken damage, he's rarely been flatlined. That's durability mean that he can afford to eat 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, especially if they're to the body or to close range. Roman's not a one-punch knockout guy. He's a death by 1,000 cuts type. So if Costa can keep walking through those shots and stay active, he can drown Roman with volume. Lastly, and this one's kind of intangible, Costa still has that chaos factor. You can't fully prepare for how awkward and unorthodox he can be when he decides to go full berserk. Spinning kicks, flying knees, random bursts of pressure, and it's not textbook, but sometimes that unpredictability is the exact thing that throws a composure striker off his rhythm. So yeah, I think this fight is gonna start fast. Costa's probably gonna come out doing what he does best, big movements, weird pressure, throwing wild kicks and flurries just to throw Roman off. And maybe it works for a bit, maybe he backs Roman up, gets the crowd buzzing, and makes it feel like the chaos is about to take over. But here's where I think it unravels. Costa's got some unclear flaws that Roman is built to exploit. First off, his defense is kind of sketchy. When Costa throws, he leaves his chin up, his hands drop, and gets flat-footed. He's hittable. Roman thrives on guys like that. He stays calm and punishes you for overextending. That clean left hand down the pipe, it's gonna find home if Costa starts getting reckless. Then there's the gas tank, all that muscle, all that tension in his style, it burns energy fast. And Roman, he's not the kind of guy that slows down. He keeps that same sniper pace from round 1 to round 3. Now, if Costa doesn't get something big early, he's going to start fading. And once that happens, Roman's going to start carving him up with those body kicks and straight shots. I also think Costa's lack of consistency in setups hurts him here. He throws with bad intention, sure, but there's not much craft behind it. No real feints, no trap setting. Roman's the opposite. He's methodical, he downloads your patterns, then rips you apart when you're getting predictable. That's what I think is going to happen in this fight. So yeah, I'm just being realistic. Costa might wake up, wild early, but once that adrenaline dumps kicks in, that sloppiness shows up, Roman's going to take over. I'm calling it right now, Kopylov by 2nd or 3rd round TKO. He's just too clean, too composed, and too good at punishing that exact kind of flaw that Costa tends to show. So yeah, I don't think this one goes the distance. I'm leaning towards a 2nd or 3rd round finish, somewhere in that mid-fight window where Costa's gas tank starts dipping and the chaos turns into desperation. Because here's the thing, Costa's not losing this fight because he's not talented. He's losing this because the style matchup is just really bad for him. His defense falls apart when he gets tired, his entries are predictable, and his shots don't come off the tight setups. He's just the kind of blitz forward and hopes the damage adds up. But against someone like Roman, that's a recipe to get countered and hard. Roman's not going to panic in the storm. He's going to sit back, eat some space, and slowly start threading that straight left and body kick every time Costa overcommits. And once Costa's output slows down, once he can't reset as fast and start standing square, that's where the real punishment starts. And let's be honest, Costa's not known for an adjusting mid-fight. He doesn't pivot strategy. He just doubles down. So once Roman figures him out and starts touching him clean, I don't see him coming back. I see a downhold slide. So yeah, I think Costa's just losing this one because his style just doesn't hold up over the 3 rounds against a technical striker like Kopylov. Roman is too sharp, too efficient, and too good at capitalizing on this exact kind of flaw that Costa tends to bring with him into the cage.